Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully migrate our model, right? So now we can actually access our admin. So now I want to first of all work for our sign up portion and also the logging that user and also that logout. So for doing this, first of all, I want to create one of the form for this one. So now go to our directory and here that is our app logging. Into the app logging area, I want to create one of the form for our sign up. So I just click as a new file and I just name it as a forms. Okay, I just name it as a forms.py. And into the forms.py, first of all, here we have to import some of the class, right? So here we have to define that as a form, our Django, and from to the Django that is our forms, that is also the building. So from to the Django forms, I want to import our model form. Okay, I just simply import our model form, and also we have to import our two of this class. So from our app logging, so from our app underscore logging, and from here there is a models. Okay, so from to the models, we have to import our user class, and also we have to import our profile class. Okay, so I just simply define two of this class on here. And also they have one of the default, and that means in our building one of the user creation forms, I also want to take it. So from that is in our Django contrib, so that is the Django, and then the contrib, the Django contrib, that is auth, and then the forms, import the user creation form, user creation form. Okay, I just simply import it. Now I want to create two of this class. One will be for our profile and another will be for our sign up. Okay, so here I define the class, and first of all I define that name as a profile form. Okay, profile form, and then it should be inherited with our this model form. So here I inherited with this model form, that is a building model form, and now I want to define one of the meta class. With this meta class here, it should be model, right? So into the model area, that model will be our profile. So I think friend, you already know about it because of all that's now this procedure, everything I have already discussed about that things with you. So into the profile here, I want to exclude, like if you go to our model, that means in our app logging, that is models, here I have already created one of the class as a profile. So into the profile class, I want to exclude our this user. Okay, so I want to exclude it, and then I want to get all that our form, that means all that our field data without this, that means without this user. So now if you want to do that work, you have to define that as exclude. Okay, exclude our which field, exclude our user. So I just simply exclude that user. Okay, and also I want to create another class, and now I name it as a sign up. Okay, sign up form, and with the sign up form, it should be inherited our another class, the building class, as a user creation form. So here I just simply defining it. Okay, and then our meta class, so that is a class as a meta, and with the meta class area, it should be as our model. So our model will be for this one as a user. So here that is our user model. Okay, so I have already input both of these as a user and the profile. So now I just simply define that user. So from to this user, I want to define that field. Okay, I want to define that fields. Our field will be as the email, and also our password 1 and the password 2, that for the confirmation. So I define the password 1, and for the confirmation I want to take another one, that is a password 2. So that is our password 2. Here I didn't add that username because of all I want to log in with the email address and the password. Okay friend, so here after that I just putting that as a comma. Perfect. So now we have to create some of the view. That means in our view area, we have to create some of the function for this one, for display all that our page. So for now, in our template, so into the template in our app logging, so here I want to create some of the page. So here I create one of the page as a logging. Okay, logging.html, and also I want to create another file, and I just name it as a for the sign up. sign underscore up dot html. And also for the profile, I want to create another one, and I just name it as a change profile. Okay, change underscore profile dot html. Perfect. So here I have created all that our file. So we don't need this. There is a setting. Also we don't need this. I just simply remove everything from here. So now first of all, you have to update our base HTML. So into the base HTML, what exactly we have to do here? We have to define all that our bootstrap link, and also that we already did. If you go to our social project, into the social project, go to the template, and with the template, if you go to that base HTML, so now I just simply copy everything from here. Okay, I just copy everything, and now here I just simply paste it and make the things as a PHP. So here there is a PHP. So here I think you already know about it. I just loaded all that our bootstrap JS file, and that is our body block. Okay, so that is our CSS block. So right now we don't need this CSS block. Here I want to already added one of the static file into the CSS area. Here I want to put that link. Okay, so I will put that link. And so if you want to put that link here, you have to put that link. So here that link, our link will be in our CSS. That means here, so that is in our static area. So here we have to defining that link. So I just simply define this link, so that will be as a static. Okay, static into the static. Here we have to define the CSS folder. Into the CSS folder I have created as a main.css, right? So here if you use that CSS, then first of all here you have to load this static. Okay, so first of all here I want to load it. So I just simply load our static. So I just simply load it. And also here I load our bootstrap CSS, and that is our font or some CSS, right? So now that is our title. Title will be as a block title. Perfect. So here I name it as e-commerce project. Okay, that will be as e-commerce project. And here one thing I want to add some of the meta function. So here after this, okay, so that is our meta. So here I want to define that meta. So into the meta function area, I want to do here I just define that name will be as a viewport. So if you already know about that font in developer work, then you know about it. So that is actually the font in developer work. I want to make the thing so it will be capable with different layout and the devices. So for the reasons here, into the meta area, into the viewports, into the viewport area, you have to define as a wide. Okay, wide, and then the device wide. So you can also get that from to the Google. So that is pretty much common one of the code. And then also you have to define that scale. That means the initial scale. Okay, initial scale. Here you have to define that version. I just define that version as a 1.0. Okay, and also I want to define that another meta. So here I define another meta, and this one here I want to don't need to show that name. Okay, so here I want to define one of the HTTP equivalent. So into the HTTP equivalent area, I want to define as a X. Sorry, it should be as a X, and then UA. That is also capable with a different device. So I just simply define as a compatible. Okay, compatible, and then in our content area, so into the content I define as an example. That means IZ will be as a AIDS. Perfect. So here our base HTML is now ready. So now we have to view it. So go to our view. That means in our app logging, that is our view. So here by default there is our Django shortcuts, imports the render, and also here I want to pass our HTTP response redirect. So I think you already know about it right now. So that is our HTTP response redirect, right? So that is HTTP response redirect. And also we need that reverse. So reverse is in our Django, and then the URLs. So from the URLs I want to input our reverse. Okay, I just simply define the reverse. And also if you want to add that HTTP response, you can also defining it better, which things is actually very much common. Okay, so which things is very much common here. I want to take all the things on here, HTTP. So as I told you friend, you have to practice it. When you practice, then everything will be very much easy to you, because you need every class for a specific some of the reason. So for the reasons here I take everything, that is our HTTP response. And now also we want to define that our authentication. So also we have to add, we need our authentication form class, we need our logging required, the logging, logout, authenticate, everything will be needed. So for the reasons one by one I want to add everything, like in the Django, into the Django there is a contrib, okay, contrib, and then auth, and with the auth forms, right, from the auth forms I want to import, I want to import our authentication form, so I just simply define as authentication form. And also we need our logging required, so that is in our form and the Django, and then the contrib, and with the contrib here we have to define that our auth, so that is in our decorators. Okay, that is in our decorators. Into the decorators I want to input our logging underscore required. Okay, so that is our logging required. So I think you already know about it, where exactly we use that class, that is our logging required. And also our another logging class, logout class, and authenticate, we also I want to also take it. There is our form, into the Django there is a contrib, and into the contrib there is a auth, and from here I want to input our logging class, I want to input our logout class, and also I want to input that authenticate. Okay, I just import that authenticate. And then our profile, that means in our model. So into the model I also want to take our profile. So here if you want to take it, that is in our form, in our app logging, into the app logging that is our models. Okay, that is our models. From to the models I want to input our profile. Okay, and to input our profile. And also from our form, so that means into the form area I have also defined two of this, one of the profile, that means the profile form, and the sign up form also we have to take it. So that is in our app logging, and then the forms. So here I go to the forms, from our app logging, and then the forms. Okay, from the forms here I want to input our two of this class that I have created as a profile form, and also there is a sign up form, right? So I just simply take both of these. So now I want to create one of the function. So now I think you already know about it. So this will be just like our before procedure. So I just name it as a sign up, as a sign. Okay, sign underscore up. So I just simply name it as a sign up, and here we have to pass that things with the request. Okay, we have to pass that things with the request. So request, and then in our form, right? So form, and then our form here I have defining it in our sign up form. I have already defined that form in our form area, that means in our app logging form area, right friend? So first of all here we have to do the same procedure. We have to create that object, and then our if condition, if this request. So from our sign up page, so we pass some of the post request, right? So here I define the request as a method. Okay, request method, when it should be equal post. It's just like that same before we did. So then our form, right? So our form objects here, it should be received that our request. So that is our sign up. Into the sign up from here we have to pass that request, and with our post data. So here I just simply define our post. So now after that I want to check it, that means if our form, okay, if our form is valid, underscore valid. So when it should be valid, then it should be save this data, that means save this form data, and then save this data. So here I just simply save it. When it should be saved, I want to define the return, and return one of the HTTP response redirect. So here it should be direct to our reverse. So with this reverse, here we have to pass that things with our which page here, I want to do when this sign up will be the complete, there should be redirected to a logging page. All right, so right now I didn't create any logging page, so now we have to create it, and else, so here we have to pass it, that then it should be in our this if condition area. So here I define the return, it should be return render, okay, with this render, that is a request, and here we have to load our sign up page. So in particular that position in our app logging, into the app logging I have created our page, right? So in our app logging I have created as a sign underscore up dot html, and now also we have to pass our form. So in our context, okay, into the context area we have to pass it. I have to pass our form, so I just simply pass that form. So for access this sign up, we have to create one of the URL page, right? So that means in our app logging, that is our URL. So here in our URL path area, here we have to define that path. So I just simply define that path, and here I define that it should be redirected to our sign up. Okay, it should be redirected to our sign up, so in particular that area. So after this here in our views, so I have already input our views. So into the views area I have already created one of the function. If you go to our views, I have created the function as a sign up, right? So I just simply define our function name, and also I put that name. So here I define that name will be as a sign up. Okay, it should be as a sign up. Perfect. Sign up URL. And also in our main project, that means in our project URL, so here I have already included our app logging URL, so it should be as a accounts, and after this accounts this URL will be activated, right? That is our sign up. So here I have already added this part. Perfect. So now in our view, so here I want to do, as I told you, when this user will be completely successfully sign up, it should be redirected to a logging page, right? So for the logging we have to also create another function. So here we have to create another function. So better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will create another function for our logging and also for the logout. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.